Hey guys, welcome to episode 2 of Climbing the Curve. First of all, apologies that it's taken me so long to record this with the stream and the YouTube videos and everything else that was going on in my life. It's taking me a while to get here, but now we're back, and today we're going to be talking about third-party tools. If this is your first time tuning in, my name is Oz. I am now an Eve Partner content creator. CCP has created an Eve partnership program to support content creators, which is fantastic. And so I stream on Twitch at Oz_Eve and also on YouTube /OzEve. I create mainly content for new players and market traders. So I have a large investment fund that I run where I invest a lot of money from the community into the markets. I show it all on stream. And so stop by if you're interested in that. So as I said, today we're going to be focusing on third-party tools. And what I mean by that is any tools that are not part of the game, that have been created by developers in the Eve community to help you enjoy the game better, do something easier in-game, or make you better players overall. There are thousands of these out there, so we're not going to be able to talk about all of them, obviously. But I'm going to pick out a few that I like to use, that I have seen recommended in our community. So there will definitely be a bias focused on trading tools, probably, and more generalist tools. Happy to have a discussion on additional tools on the various channels that we have in the community. If you're not part of the Discord yet, then I urge you to become part of our Discord. There's over 1,000 traders and generally nice people of the Eve community in there. So if you look at the show notes or on any of the Twitch or YouTube channels, and you can find links to our Discord there. So come on over and join the discussion. So let's jump right in with the first tool. So if you've been watching my stream or my YouTube videos, then it's not going to come as a surprise that my first pick is Jeev Assets. That is J-Eve Assets. It's a Java application that helps you track your assets, your transactions, your contracts, your net worth, your orders, anything that really could be tracked about your characters, you can track in there. I really enjoy their net worth tracking graph, for example, or their asset tracking, where you can just search your assets all across Eve, all across all of your characters. It's immensely useful, and you can use that data, copy it out of there into various spreadsheets, which makes it a really great, let's call it centerpiece for your character management. One thing I really like about Jeev Assets is its ease of use. I mean, it's very user-friendly. It's very easy to set up profiles and characters. It only takes you a few minutes. It has a dark mode. It has various tools. It has Eve UI integration. So I think if you compare it to other tools in the community, they've just done so many things right that I think it deserves the first spot on this podcast. So check out Jeev Assets. I highly recommend it, and I use it every day. So the second tool I want to mention today is also not going to be a surprise if you regularly watch my stream or videos, and that's Atom4Eve.eu. So Atom, the number 4, and Eve.eu. The reason it's so fantastic is because it has a true depth in market information about Eve. It has a margin finder that is my favorite tool for finding items to trade in. It has a market trends section where you can look at various markets in Eve, various item categories and the market direction that they're going into. It has a section on market hubs, which market hubs are, how big and how are they developing. You can look at contract prices, you can analyze contracts and see what the profits of them are going to be. You can look at trade volume by region and so on and so on. So anything that you could imagine, any data that you would want to know about the Eve markets, if it's available through the API, then it is available on Atom4Eve. Now, when you first start using it, it can be quite daunting because it's not as straightforward as other tools in Eve. But I've made quite a few YouTube videos and guides on how to use it to identify trade items, for example, or how to use it to look at various market trends. So if you are confused and want to learn, then just go to YouTube/OzEve and look at some of the Atom for Eve videos that I've posted there. The third tool I want to mention today is fuzzwork.co.uk. So fuzzwork.co.uk. And this site is run by former CSM member Steve Ronukin. And the reason I like it is because it combines a lot of useful tools on one page. So for example, a calculator for blueprints to see what the production costs for various blueprints are. That is very, very useful, not only for production, but also for trading, to know the real value of an item. It has a great LP store section. So if you want to understand what the best items are for your LP to trade in for, then that is a great place to go. Also, if you don't understand where certain items come from, you can search for them there. On top of that, you have a ton of manufacturing and mining / harvesting tools that he's got out there on his site. So go check that out. If in industry or trading is your thing, you will definitely find something useful there. And it's fantastic that to have all of that combined on one site. So the next tool is extremely popular among most EVE players, and that is zkillboard.com. So this site has information on every single kill that is happening inside of EVE. So there are a ton of ways to use this. First of all, most people use this to brag, but you can also use it for trading to see which ships are being flown, what fits are dying, whether players are dangerous or snuggly, as they're called in there. So zkillboard is definitely your number one source of information for anything kills in EVE Online. So while we're talking about very popular tools, let me mention evemaps.dotland.net. This is your one-stop shop for navigation. If you are planning your way around EVE and need the quickest route or the safest route, or you want to understand the sovereignty of various regions within EVE, or even look for alliances and corporations that are growing or shrinking, this is your place to go. Very, very easy to use. It's been around for a long time, so really recommend it for anything that has to do with navigation or geography within EVE. Next, we have evepraisal.com. There are a ton of tools out there where you can take inventory or contract dumps and post them into a tool to evaluate the contents. The one that does it, I think, the easiest and most user-friendly is evepraisal. It's very, very popular. A lot of people are using it. You can dump the stuff in there and then use various links and permalinks to post that back into the game. Or into other tools. So very, very popular and useful, evepraisal.com. Now, if you're looking for fits to use in your daily gameplay for PvP or PvE, then eveworkbench.com is your place. This is where people can design fits, upload their fits, others can rate them, and you can search them. And that is a very, very useful thing because a lot of times you don't have the time to go through all of the research that it takes to put a nice fit together for a purpose. So here you can go search the library, pick a fit, copy it into the game, and get going. So very useful tool, eveworkbench.com. Now, if you do want to design the fit yourself, then I can recommend Pyfa, Pyfa. This is a tool that you can download that has all of the ships and modules where you can mess around, design your own fits, and then export them to the game. Very, very popular tools. You will see a lot of people referring to Pyfa in-game. And I've heard of quite a few people that spent more time in Pyfa than in-game, which is something that I completely understand because I certainly spent more time in spreadsheets than in the game. But hey, that's EVE for you. If you're looking for a tool to manage your skill queue outside of the game, then I can recommend Evemon, Evemon. This is a tool available for Windows only, I think. Here you can manage the best order for your skills and the implants and attribute distribution. In the beginning, a lot of people neglect this, but if you do this right, it can shave weeks and months off your ability to fly certain ships or do certain things in game. So I think it's worth it looking into Evemon or other skill management, skill queue management tools outside of the game. Now, when it comes to very simple market data or profit tracking, you guys know that I have my own tool out there, my own spreadsheet that I make available for free. If you want something that is more out of the box, that is web-based, then you can check out Eve Marketer or Eve Tycoon or even Eve Mogul. Any of them will help you keep track of your transactions, of market prices, and some of them also do profits. So there it just depends on which of those tools you feel more comfortable with and what you're looking for. So go check them out or download my sheet, whatever floats your boat. If you're looking for a site that has all information in one place and can teach you a thing or two and also has their own list of useful third-party tools, then obviously you have to look at wiki.eveuniversity.org. If you're playing the game, I'm guessing you've already found it, but if you haven't, check out Eve University. Awesome institution and very, very helpful, especially to new players. So before we talk to our guest today about the potentially best looking tool in Eve out there, let me just mention the Neocom 2 app. This is an app that is available for iOS only. While there is an official app called Eve Portal, that app is nice looking but not as useful. The official app is great for managing your skill queue, which is the only place where you can actually do that on outside of the game. But the Neocom 2 app additionally has very, very good market tools. You can look at your orders, your wealth, your transactions, and that is something that I use absolutely every day. So if you do have an iPhone, then I recommend downloading the Neocom 2 app and supporting it because it's an awesome addition to the Eve tool landscape. So our guest today is Vitor Nara. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Vitor, yeah?
Yeah, but I didn't make up this name. It's from Mass Effect. So I don't know how to pronounce it perfectly either.
All right, perfect. I played a Mass Effect game like many years ago, but only one. I think 3, I think it was.
I really like them. That's why I chose a name from them.
Cool. So Vitor, what you do in game is you created a really, really cool tool that I love to use, and that's why I asked to have an interview with you, because you created the Abyss tracker, and we'll talk about that tool in a little bit more. But can you just take a few minutes to introduce yourself? Like, how long have you been playing? What do you do in game? That sort of stuff.
Yeah, of course. I found Eve in a pop-up on Steam, and since I like space and I like RPGs, I wanted to try it, and they just pulled me in instantly. I found a low-sec pirate group really early in the game, and I basically just flew Tristan's for a year. It was very good for a while. Unfortunately, that gang broke up. Since then, I mostly just stayed for the community, not really the in-game content. But it's fine because I found the Eventy guys when I first flew to Nottingham about organizing one of the Alliance tournaments. And then I sometimes played Eve for a few months. Then sometimes I won the game for a few months. And it's been going on and off. But I'm always active in the Discord communities. So that didn't change.
Yeah, I feel the same. I came for the game, and definitely now, especially creating content like you are as well, it's much more about the community than the game itself in the end.
Yeah, and my family status changed. So now I have a kid. And when I play Eve, I like to play it for hours without doing anything else and just concentrating on it, letting it pull me in. But now I can't do that because I just don't have the time for it, with the feeling that I can be interrupted anytime. They can't afford to just like fly into a wormhole with the fear of the kid waking up from a nap or something like this. So this is why being a third-party dev it's a good Eve, how to say this, a good Eve profession.
Yeah. No, I feel you. I feel you with the family as well. I'm in the exact same situation. We were talking about that earlier. I feel like there are just some activities in game that I can't do anymore like I used to. So that's why now I do a lot of trading and even Abyssal Space because it's time boxed. Although I've lost quite a few ships in Abyssal Space because my kid wakes up from a nap. That does happen. That's why I don't fly expensive kilos anymore.
Yes, but Abyss is quite a big help because I can ask my wife to, okay, next 20 minutes maximum, just let me play a bit. And then I have 20 minutes and Abyss run is kind of enough to fit there, even if I don't read the plex just to actually fly a ship sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I think the way they've moved with Abyssal Space is really great because it does allow for a little bit more of that time box stuff, even if it goes away a little bit of the original principle of a sandbox. But I think they did it so well that most people really like it.
Yes, it's not exclusive, so it doesn't hurt the original time sandbox. I think that's why it's so good.
Absolutely.
Exactly like the proving ground events.
Yeah. I have nothing but love for it for sure. So speaking of Abyssal Space, you created the Abyss tracker. Can you those that are maybe not using it yet, I show it all the time on my stream, so all my viewers will know it. But for those that don't use it, can you introduce it?
Yes, of course. I intended it to be a central website for all Abyss related content. So you can save your Abyss loot, upload your Abyss outfits, and you can choose what you share of these with others. So in the end, it will provide you with your personal statistics, but the real value of it is aggregating the data anonymously from everyone who provided their runs or fits. And currently we have over 60,000 submissions. So now we have a good idea of what kind of items drop from each tiers and types, and what are the drop rates, what are their average and mean loot values. And actually, the next patch I'm building is going to provide so much more detailed information about this weather data. The patch will be called weather forecast, even though it's mostly historic data and no forecast.
Nice. Yeah, I absolutely love your tool. So let me take this opportunity to say thank you for that, for developing it. It's I use it all the time, and I don't only use it for running Abyssal Space and tracking my runs, but I also use it to gain some intelligence on market data, on what fits are going to be popular, etc. Have you when you build the tool, did you have those types of uses in mind, or was it basically about tracking your own stuff and sharing the data a little bit?
When I first thought of the Abyss tracker as a tool, I was just recording my runs into an Excel spreadsheet. And since I'm very bad with spreadsheets, but I'm adept with databases, I was thinking how much easier would it be if I could calculate my ISK per hour in Excel, but in a database, and then it just snapped that, wait, I can actually do this really quickly. So that's how it first started. I just published it on Reddit because I thought, hey, it's so useful for me, maybe it's useful for others. But currently we have 400 daily users, which is a huge number. I never expected it. The only thing I expected was definitely not market traders. It was gankers trying to find high value fits and the people running them. That's why there are so many runs with virtually everything hidden on them. So hidden fit, hidden user. But this was gladly not an issue. The fact that you told me that you use it for market trading is a very nice bonus. That was the last thing I expected. But maybe if you tell me to use it for exactly, maybe I can build it in a way that it's useful for more traders as well. So we can go forward this way too.
Yeah. I think the what we use it for in the trading community and on my stream is to have a look. One, what's the activity level like? So we trade a lot in filaments, and filaments are quite profitable to trade in because they fluctuate in value quite a bit, and they follow supply and demand rules quite dynamically. To know which ones are going to be the hottest ones next, or which fits are popular right now, and the overall level of activity is just super useful. And your site and your tool is the best way, quickest way of getting that information. So that's really cool.
This is absolutely something that I have not expected. When so in the front page there is an activity graph, I think on a second just behind the current loot values. I always thought that it's just the usage on the site and it does not reflect how much Abyss runners are actually in game. I always thought that it's just how many Abyss runners know of the site, but I'm glad that that's not entirely the case.
Well, what it does is, it doesn't track the entire community, but it's a good indicator of whether those people that are serious about Abyss are they using it more or less than they were, a week or two ago. So that's what makes it quite useful.
I see. Well, they kind of dictate which feeds are mainstream.
Yeah, totally. It's a very few people that I think dictate where it goes. We saw that recently with that 900 million an hour YouTube video that came out and immediately started dictating the price of electrical filaments and fit pieces.
I actually missed that, but I will try to look it up.
Oh yeah, it's people running retributions and deacons. I think I haven't done it myself,
I
but
see.
yeah, it's that fit. So
Okay.
what role does the Abyssal Lurkers Discord play kind of in your community? I see you're active in there. You're probably getting a lot of traffic from that community, right?
I think almost all of the traffic comes from that community.
Yeah.
We are so intertwined that I didn't make separate Abyss Tracker Discord. I just asked if I can get channel in the Abyssal Lurkers Discord. So we now share a Discord. It's not really a sharing Discord. I'm like renting a channel from them. So the Lurkers community is much bigger than the Abyssal Tracker community. Nice symbiosis.
Cool. Yeah. So do you?
I hang around in the in-game chat channel and I sometimes answer questions or just say hi, but I'm not online a lot nowadays.
Okay. And did I understand you correctly earlier that you said you're not good with spreadsheets, so you made the tool?
Yes, yeah, exactly.
That's funny because I'm exactly the other way around. I'm very good with spreadsheets, and that's 90% of what I do in Eve. But then I would never know where to start with a tool. So it's I went exactly the other way. I didn't know how to create a tool, so I created a few spreadsheets that I'm sharing with the community that I hope are easy to use, but are definitely not as pretty as your tool.
Spreadsheets are fine too. I think it's just two different tools for the same problem, and the spreadsheets are easier to get right. A fully built solution is much harder to get right, but if it's really good, I think it can offer more value. Because I heard a good saying or tweet somewhere, and it says that database or websites are just databases with a skin, and it has the change my mind meme. And
yeah, absolutely.
I thought Abyss Tracker is exactly like that. It's just a database with a skin.
Yeah, absolutely. I see when using spreadsheets a lot, I run into the problem of having too much data very quickly, right? If you collect data for a few months, a lot of times you start reaching the limits of Google Sheets or Excel or whatever it is that you're using in spreadsheets. So there, I sometimes wish I was able to program databases, but yeah.
It's not really difficult. If you know the hangs of spreadsheets, yeah.
Yeah, I just SQL in college was the last thing I did with databases.
Well, it's the same thing that works with Abyss Tracker, so it's not magic.
We had about you think tool
Roadmap in the changelog part of the website, which starts with 1.7 and finishes with 1.15. Now we are at 1.8, so we're kind of at the beginning. With my current speed, I can deliver one of these patches 1 month, I think, but it can change. But the next bigger patch is called the weather forecast. I have talked about it, which is in progress now. Now we have lots of raw data. Lots of it is historic, and I would like to just publish more of it in an aggregated fashion. So more pretty graphs, more raw data, more filtering options. This is the goal of the next patch. Once, if it's published, which I hope is still in December, then we are moving on to a user requested feature, which is just alt stats, and it's going to be 1.10.
Nice. So tracking Sorry if I'm at, so you mean like tracking the runs and aggregating different runs onto one character from different in-game characters?
Yes, that's what's going to
Nice.
happen, but it will not be public. It will just be a private one. So when you sign in now, you see a stat screen that's a bit dated, and that's the screen that's going to be overhauled. And that screen will have an option of adding other characters to it.
Nice.
So yeah, that's the plan, which I hope will work. Then we have a lot more ideas like upgrading the drop rates table to allow the big table of displaying individual columns, which is now not possible. Then we'll have an option of hiding runs entirely from the site and from guests. And once that is done, I will try to make a guess of blueprints, which one is worse to manufacture and which one is garbage, because now we don't have an idea about those.
Yeah, I have a spreadsheet for that. I have a spreadsheet that where you can take your abyssal loot, you can dump it in my spreadsheet, and it will tell you which VPCs to keep and what the worth of them should be based on current market pricing and industry costs. So that is something that I'm doing outside of your tool right now in a spreadsheet. That would be fantastic if you did it inside the tool, although it's probably going to ruin quite a few markets that I'm profitably abusing right now.
It will not be perfect because I will not take character skills or build locations into account. I think I will just use one of the readily available online calculators.
Yeah.
So it will maybe hurt your profits.
That's okay. That's what I do every time on my stream. I always share all my profits, profitable markets, and then everyone starts investing.
You can always think about something else. The next one might be interesting for you personally because that's going to be an API access.
Yeah, that's going to be very cool. So API access to data like runs and everything.
Yes, the site will allow users to create an API password for them, and they can use that to use it with, for example, Google Docs or Excel, other websites to pull data from Abyss loots, with drop rates, item prices, static stats of the weathers or historic data. So I will try to publish all of these, but they will be anonymized. So it will not really contain any character IDs. So again, to just protect the privacy of their users.
Cool. Yeah, that's really cool. And to that is, so right now you're relying on everyone putting in their own data in your tool, right? There's no data that you can pull from the game for this, right?
Well, no, but yes. So it's disputed because there is actually an event point that we could use, but that only returns data every hour. So it's not enough for the Abyss tracker to reliably get the difference between Abyss runs, because in 1 hour, someone might do more runs than one, and then there would be no way to decide which piece of item came from which run. I have asked TCP to make an endpoint that only returns the cargo of the ship, but it's updating every few minutes or seconds. We are waiting for them to implement it. And once they implement it, then the Abyss tracker can finally have verified runs.
Nice. Yeah, that's very cool. Yeah, I saw you asking that question on the Eve partner Discord. How since we've both recently I think gotten into there. What are your thoughts on that? What do you think about the Eve partner program?
Well, I really love it because it was unexpected. It's like a Christmas gift from CCP.
Yes.
I think it's more than I see it now, because I see they are actively engaging their partner community and not just dumping gifts on us. So I see that it's like a conversation in there, and I'm really happy for it.
Yeah, me too. Same. I think it came very unexpected, and it's so helpful. Not only because they're helping with Omega and with giveaways for the community, but as you said, that engagement that you see from the community team and the effort they're putting in there is really positive, and it has it has made me look very positively at content creation for the next year for Eve. I'm feeling very appreciated at the moment.
Yes, it's the same. But currently, I have no idea what to do with the giveaway skins. I will give them away, but I don't know what event I will think.
Yeah, because it's not as easy for you as for us
Yeah.
streamers.
If I just say whoever uploads the most runs.
Exactly, right?
Yes, but I have no way of verifying the runs, so I cannot use that.
Yeah, people in Eve will game anything, so they will definitely game that system. I've looked at your site, and it's clear that some people also try to game the leaderboards, right?
Yes, but there is one time when that happened, and since it never happened before, I approached him with the benefit of the doubt. So, yes, benefit of the innocence, or I don't know the saying in English. I'm sorry. And I didn't ban him. I wanted to talk to him first about it. And it turns out that he had an internet issue and he pressed the submit button with his mouse a lot of times. So it's click, 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 click. Why don't you work? He was in the process of deleting his excess runs. So I'm happy to say that until now, the Abyss Tracker had no attack from anyone, which is an unexpected surprise because my previous Eve projects did have attacks, just not the Abyss Tracker.
Yeah, and I mean, in the end, you're only quote unquote giving away skins. So I mean, even if somebody tried to hack that, it wouldn't be a huge consequence, you know.
Yeah. Well, I only fear for the integrity of the data because that's the most value that the Abyss Tracker has. But since I'm giving it away free, there is no really there is no way of.
But I see what you mean.
So no one can gain an advantage from misplaying the Abyss Tracker.
Yeah, absolutely. But you'll find a way. You can always do a random. Giveaway that people can sign up for, or provide feedback to you on the site, and you can raffle away among the people that submit any runs at all or something like that.
I think I will give them to a community who runs events, and then they can make an actual interactive giveaway. So
yeah, exactly. Since you're already working with Torvald on his community anyway, do you have regular exchanges with Torvald? Do you guys talk? How does that work?
Not really. We talked a lot when the Abyss Tracker was young. Now he's occupied with CSM stuff.
Right.
In the summer, I had a few months of downtime and I burned out a bit, so I recovered my thoughts. Now I'm back, but we don't talk with Torvald as much, even though we are friendly.
Yeah. As CSM, besides work and family, I can only imagine that being a lot of work.
Yeah, I think it's the same with him.
Yeah. I'm sure. As I would think you profit from each other and from the community, both of you, in terms of development of content.
Yeah. He always has good ideas about and what the community needs and in what way the Abyss Tracker should improve. So I know when Torvald says something, it's usually a few hundred people behind him saying the same thing.
Nice. That's good. So I have like a from personal usage, I have a question for your tool that I think maybe other people might have as well, and that's we had this big patch in September with the new NPCs going into Abyss Space, right? And I see that you have added an untested tag to the fits in the tracker. I still think it's quite difficult sometimes to find fits that actually work right now in the current meta. Can you talk about that challenge? Is that something you're working on? Is that something that just can't be helped?
That patch quite a surprise when it came with the new tiers. Because I think it was the same patch that brought us Destroyers and Tier 0 and Tier 6 tiers. That was a time when the Abyss Tracker really lagged behind the Eve patch. So it took a good 6 weeks to actually fully catch up to the Eve patch. But even after all these weeks, it was only working. But all the fits that were uploaded to the Abyss Tracker, people couldn't decide whether it works or it doesn't work. So quickly, two most requested features became the comment section and this tag on fits. So I think about a week ago, yes, exactly a week ago, November 3, 1.8 was published. which had the comment section on the fits and also this tag. So by default, I tagged all the fits with untested, and the fit uploader has the capacity to switch it to tested or switch back to untested or just say it doesn't work outright. But weirdly, even though it was by far the most requested features, people are not really using it yet. So I'm giving it a bit of time, like a few weeks, and if people dislike it or I see a drop in fit usage, I may revert it or think about a different solution.
Right. Yeah, I think I could see that work really well. The piece of information I was missing that I wasn't thinking about is that of course you had to set everything to untested when you implemented it, and now people have to manually set it back, and that's probably why users are seeing a lot of untested fits.
Yes, we were talking in Torvalds community about marking fits with a few successful runs automatically tested, but then all those runs may not have encountered all the spawns or all the new rats. So I decided against it because I just couldn't think of a fixed number.
Yeah.
Like, is it one successful run or is it 5? Someone will always have a problem with it. That's why I just set all of them to untested. If in the future there is going to be another huge breaking patch, I will just reset all of the fits to untested again.
Right. Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense, and then hopefully enough people use it to move it back to untested. Cool. That's all the questions I had today. Do you have any shout outs or any comments that you'd like to send to the community?
Yes, one. It's advertisement, if you don't mind.
Of course.
Okay. I have been working with the event team, and we have been aiding in the past Alliance tournaments, and we organized and hosted the Alliance Open. I'm sure most of you know it.
Yeah.
They are now aiming for Twitch partner program, and this is why they host daily events. They always have some kind of giveaway. So it's going to be online in the few days. Or for a few weeks, it's going to be almost every day. So it's a good idea to check them out.
Cool. And so follow their channel and tune into their shows, right? For Eve NT on Twitch.
Yes, I also had a part in them. So I was actually halting a bit tracker progress for a while because I'm also making the Alliance Open, and the previous Alliance tournaments is streaming tools.
Awesome, dude. So you've got your hands in several Eve honeypots there.
Yes, nice. It's really fun.
Cool. First of all, thank you so much for agreeing to come to talk to me today, and also thank you so much for creating that really cool tool. To everyone out there that's not yet using it, go out there and not only try it but log your runs into it. It helps everyone, and the more data we have, I think the better. And also, if you use the tool already, then consider becoming a Patreon or a patron for the tool. I recently did, and if you're using it and you want to support content creators, then that's a great way of doing that. Awesome.
Yeah, and thank you for the patron.
Yeah, no worries at all, Vitor. Thank you so much, and see you around. And good luck with the tool development in the future. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
So as I said at the beginning of the episode, there's no way that we could have looked at all the tools out there today. I'm sure there are some fantastic tools that I may have missed today, or that are good alternatives to the ones presented today. So if you do know of them, do let me know on Twitter at Oz_in_Eve, or on our Discord, on Twitch, on YouTube, or any of the other social media channels. Let me also take this opportunity to say thank you to all of the developers out there that are creating these tools. You're making the community better, you're making everyone's gaming experience better, and I appreciate what you're doing immensely. One thing I also include in every episode is a recommendation on good items to trade in. And today, because we have the Winter Nexus event going on, I want to talk about agency boosters. So the Hardshell, Overclocker, and Pyrolencia. They increase your tank or your damage or your capacitor. And often they're given out as rewards from various events, but also as login rewards. So you will see not only very steady demand on these, but a varying supply. So every time these show up as a reward, the supply goes up immensely and the price drops quite sharply. So what you can do is keep a lookout for this, look at the new events that are going on, look at the login rewards, and then when you see them pop up, you can see how far they drop in price and then start buying a little bit or a lot up depending on your capital. And typically, because these are very useful and because demand is quite steady on these, they will slowly rise in price again until the next event. So I love trading in these. Finally, they're also great because they come in dose 1 through 4. So again, just kind of like the filaments, you have different tiers. So there's something there for every wallet. If you're investing 1 million or 1 billion or 100 billion, you will find a market that is big enough and a price level that fits your wallet. So have a look out for Agency, Hardshell, Pyrolencia, and Overclocker boosters. All right, that's it for episode 2 of Climbing the Curve. Thank you all for tuning in. You will have noticed that I have a new podcast out here on the same stream, and that is called the Oz Report. And that's going to be the weekly market update that I record live from my Twitch stream every Monday. So go check that out if you want to profit from short-term market movements based on patches and updates and events that are going on. That will be about 10, 11, 12 minutes long every week and will be automatically hitting your podcast feed if you're subscribed to Climbing the Curve. If you would like to support what I'm doing here, then go to patreon.com/OzEve, and there we have various tiers with various rewards for backers of the show. So let me take this opportunity to specifically thank the Tycoon level patrons Rashid, Frosty Goblin, Xena Jax, Laddie, Geary, Clunky, Leo Sagan, and Crazy Deezy. I appreciate your support massively. Thank you also to Martin, who helped me out with the audio on this episode. Check out his SoundCloud profile at soundcloud.com/BlameUzi. I will link that on the Discord as well. If you would like to check out the live stream on Twitch, then join us every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday around 8:30 p.m. UTC, so that's Eve time. All right. Until then, thanks for tuning in, and y'all go out there and make that ISK.